Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and this is Train Fever. Normally I try to open my videos with some exciting train action going on, but the game's paused right now, so have some exciting track instead. Okay, right, what are we up to? So I'm midway through, I guess it's the final piece of the puzzle really, is we're building the final loops. It's multiple loops, but I'm not sure exactly how it's going to work out just yet, which is pretty typical. Normally I would put no effort into actually planning this out properly, and today is no different. So we've got, well, what's my objective today? Let's go. We're going to go Maryport to Bingham, obviously already connected. Bingham out to Southwick, which doesn't have any trains at all at present. So we're going to change that, and then we have two choices. We can either go Southwick over to Deal, perhaps, or Southwick to Clay Cross, or even Southwick out to Skelton in Cleveland, which is possibly where we'll end up. Why the dilemma in terms of choices? Well, because I'm not certain of the loops that we're going to do. So maybe I'll abandon Southwick this time and see what we do with the items that we have actual certainty on. So the first of which is going to be Clay Cross right here, which is going to be something of a novelty given that it only has one track. So there's going to be a bit of a queue form at Clay Cross, unless I do, you know, just the most excellent piece of spacing ever when we actually start trains down it. Clay Cross out to Deal. Now we've got the track laid here in Deal already, largely to kind of fuel the expansion of the town in the right direction. I need to complete the road here as well. Probably some kind of connection going around here. Then Deal out to Skelton. We've also laid some of the track here. In fact, I've also made a decision on this front already. So, okay, so Deal is the link-up point for Southwick. That's quite a wacky route there, and it's going to be pretty expensive. I mean, the good news is we've got 136 million in the bank, so, you know, there's not too much drama on that front. Then, once we've got to Skelton, right here, we've already started the curve, which will head out to Lostwithiel, which also is currently not connected. And then from Lostwithiel we go to Worthing, which is also not connected, and then we're back on the home stretch. So we go into Wallingford, which I always knew was going to be part of this route, and I was considering putting a kind of 4-track station in there, but it'll end up being 2 tracks, so we'll loop out back over to Worthing, and we'll figure that out as we get there. So today I'm hoping to, well, I think we'll start out by just joining the dots of the stuff that already exists. So let's go Clay Cross out to Deal right here. Have I double tracked this yet? No, I have not. So first things first, let's double track this thing. So I mean, we've got you know, effective and profitable services running already, which is excellent. Well, I mean, you know, you can tell that given by the fact that we've got you know, 130 odd million in the bank. So you know, we're already in a strong position. Oh, getting across this river is going to be a pain, isn't it? Yeah, we're already in a strong position, and the hope is that as we expand the rest of this, we can continue in that vein. Now, where's the best river crossing? It's going to be like there somewhere, but that's not going to be too straightforward. Let's have a look at the lay of the land. It's completely flat. Okay, well, what are you going to do for me? What can you offer me here? And that's not brilliantly helpful. I mean, it is helpful if we can double track it. I mean, let's see what we get here. No, of course, no chance of a double track there. What about putting a parallel? Come on, let me parallel it. There we go. That's about as good as we're going to get. It's not the most attractive thing I've seen, but you know, as is so often the case, the most attractive thing is perhaps beyond our capabilities. Anyway, where are we going? Stations over there, kinda. Okay, marvelous. Yeah, so yeah, we're putting together the final pieces of our magnificent network. Where the challenge that kind of set ourselves to start with was to have as many trains running through a massive kind of hub station as possible. That looks alright. It's a bit further on one side than the other, but it's not the end of the world. There you go. Can we get across there? It's got a little kink in it, but that's not too bad at all. Yeah, and I think we're looking at possibly 20, maybe even in excess of 20 trains running through one station. So that's Maryport, obviously. Now, for those of you tuning in regularly, you know this already, and you go, stop stalling, man. Stop just talking words and get on with it. We know what you're building. You mention it often enough. Now just go build the thing. To which I say, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I don't like that. Try and keep it straight. Straight-esque, that'll do. Okay, marvellous. Right, so that's deal at least connected to some track. Now, we just need to connect this one up to that. And fortunately, we have our newfound friend, the delete the hell out of this road tool. And then we'll smooth that, because I'm planning something a little unusual in that way that I so often do. Come on, you don't seem to be... there we go. Come on. Let's try a slightly smaller brush. Tidy that up just a bit. Always worth doing it at the time, otherwise you'll find you've left a nice big lump of unaltered terrain that you've previously stuck a ruddy great lump in that you then have to try and go back and fix. What the heck is going on here? That feels a little unnecessary, if you ask me. It feels more downhill than anything else. Certainly doesn't feel like a bridge is necessary. Right, where's my bridge? Bridge is over there. That's okay, I'm alright with that. Yeah, I didn't want to have to swan neck it. So the big challenge is actually keeping it where you've got maximum. If I hook that up now, just to see where we lose speed. So that's a 292, 299. In fact, it might even be worse than that if I take it across there. Look at that for an embankment. Stone me. That's not nice. So am I going to back up and do it slightly better? No, because it's going to need a curve in there somewhere. So I think we'll have this doing a slight jaunt on its way over to the bridge. 257. And yeah, this is what I was trying to say before, is that once you get up to the really kind of high-speed track, not bleeding... Look, you only have to move it ever so slightly off the straight and narrow, and you're bleeding speed off. Okay, I don't know why it's decided to put such a big lump in there. In fact, now it's done it. It doesn't. That's just not necessary. And of course, I've committed to doing it already. Begone you. Smooth this sucker back out again. Big brush, please. Yes, I'm not entirely sure I understand what's going on there. Come on, level it out. This game would benefit from a slider on these terrain adjustment tools along the lines of how severely would you like to do this? You know, do you want to do it in a relatively gentle fashion that will leave you with nice, harmonious, natural-looking sloping action, or do you just want to flatten it immediately? because once in a while the flatten it immediately approach would actually be kind of useful. Right, apparently you're going downhill. Well, I didn't really want you going uphill to begin with. Right, okay. Staying on the flat. Something like that. Only, you know, pointing in the right direction. There we go. Important safety tip there. Always make sure you check from multiple angles. This is going to put a lump in my track. And then it's cutting through there. I don't understand what it's doing with the elevation. Oh, I now understand what it's doing with the elevation. Well, that's faintly ridiculous. Oh well. The faintly ridiculous is kind of the way that we've built so far. Why should this be any different? Okay, let's drag you around as far as there. And then try and make yourself tidy when doing it. There you go, that's not so bad. Alright, smashing. It's ugly. Yes, definitely. In fact, it's so ugly I'm getting rid of this bit. And that bit. And I don't need to get rid of that bit as well. Let's see if we can do this without the incline being quite so severe. Given it basically cancelled itself out. Here we go. That's much better. Still, you know, had I looked at this bridge design here, I possibly would have suggested an alternative. But there we go. We're in position now, and who knows? The variety in the ways that trains go across the track might prove to be delightful. Then again, it might not. But you know, what can you do? Right, bit more road down here, please. Medium street. Do we want to take it over the other side of the river? Yes, I think we do. So I've been doing this for a couple of episodes. I'm trying to encourage towns to spread out, and that means sometimes, you know, spread out in favour of crossing rivers or on building on both sides of the station. But I mean, the key thing is that, you know, I don't want the stations to look like some fools just plonked them down on the edge of the town. I want them to look like they've actually grown up around the town. Now, don't get me wrong, some fool has just plonked them down. Why do we have 4 tracks here? Oh, okay, all right. So we've got a track merger section coming up. Have I left myself enough room? If we do that, then potentially. Why is the construction not possible? It's only a level crossing that I wanted. Curse you. There we go. So we've got a bit of a slowdown here, but as you know, as I so frequently point out, it's coming into a station anyway, so trains are likely to be slowing down. Right, I think, given that the main line is there, so we'll treat this kind of left-hand side as the main line, which means I'll need to merge on the other two that will form the magnificent under-mountain pass to Southwick. All right, that looks pretty good. Well, it looks kind of kinky, but still looks adequate. Adequate. There you go. That's a good word. It looks adequate. What are we doing here? 160. 160 is doable. Evidently, I am a fan of the excessive point systems going on. What have we got here? Take that up to 160 some odd. So when you're building a point system like this, you know, a lot of what you're doing is actually just best guess. You're kind of aiming for what's going to work. I mean, you know, experience leads to a certain amount of you swine and a pain and a why you not help me with this. No, not keen. I wanted to keep the point sections relatively short if possible. And you, my friend, are not playing ball. See, I'd like you to merge. See, I've not got a merger point here, so I want you to merge about here. Look, if I just go... No, that's not going to do it. Can I do anything in parallel? And I'm wondering whether it's because the track is recessed a little. You know what you should have done? I do know what I should have done. Okay, right. Well, go off and do it then. Take two. Let's try that again. Okay, what I should have done... Not sure what that one's colliding with. What are you colliding with? Oh, I tried to overlay too much track. Alright, fine. Oh no, it's still colliding. There we go. So, you know, what we're trying to do here, make sure we're fully snapped. There's a piece of track left over there for no good reason. I don't fully understand why that's the case. Right, fully snapped all along the way. So, if we do... How much space have we got here? Now, can I get a piece of track along the side there? Yes, I jolly well can. Okay, that's good. Right, so if I now merge that one onto there, what are you alignment colliding there, my friend? And then, if we're lucky, there we go. All right, so that's merged the 4 into 3. We need to take that one across here. That'll do it. I'm not thrilled with this, actually. I might revisit it later. It should be fine. The concern I have is that there are quite a few slowdowns on this section of track. Okay, so let's theory test this one. So if we're coming up to Southwick, no, not Southwick, whichever road place it is. Yeah, it is Southwick. If we're heading to Southwick off this spur here, which will loop round and come down this side, which is fine because it then hooks onto Bingham, which is also that side. Right, so we're coming out of Maryport, so we're charging down the right-hand side here, making good time, picking up a hell of a lot of passengers, which means we want to be on the right-hand side of the spur, which means we lead off on this one. Kind of an excessive kink there. I think we can do that smoother. And ideally, it needs to be, you know, hitting full speed by then, so let's... We go as far as there, which manages to keep it at 200-ish, and then can we just slot in? Drops to 138, but does... Well, that's higher than it was. I think it was like half that speed beforehand. And then we're heading back up here on the right. Good. Smashing. Now, coming back in the opposite direction, we come motoring down here, keeping up a heck of a rate. And then we switch over onto the wrong side of the main line. That's fine. Signals will sort that, and then over onto the right side of the main line. Okay, good. That'll work. It's an inelegant point system, but it'll do. I mean, I didn't really have enough space there to do that magnificently well. Okay, good. So then we're off out to Skelton, and bizarrely enough, for quite a lot of mucking about there, I've only burned 2 million quid so far this episode. Right, we will have to do better. Oh, actually, I want to do... yes, I've just given away what my magnificent plan was. Never mind. Here you go, magnificent plan time. Let's get rid of some of this road. So this is just replacing the bit of road that I deleted earlier. Right, about like that, and then there we go. A rather dramatic highway underpass that you don't want to be in the outside lanes of because you'll crash into it. Brilliant. Yeah, that's that end. I'm not even sure if I use this road, but you know, having picked up, thanks to the comment from, well, I don't know, you know what I'm like with comments. I never completely remember who said it, but someone suggested doing the the underpass method there, and it's brilliant. I love it. I love it so much I've effectively bought an underpass company. So thank you for that. I'll name check people properly one day, but today is not that day. Right, okay, to finish off, I've left myself a monster of a challenge here. How am I going to get past this oil facility without slowing down? Okay, well, you can get across there, which is, it's nutty. Leaves you needing to still make a corner. Alright, let's delete this one back a touch. I don't want to delete the flaming bridge. That's better. Alright, there we go. Right, now, get rid of that bit. Get rid of this bit. Put it back in again. And everybody's happy. Right, good. Alright, yeah, so to finish off, I'm going to build this tunnel. Or I'm going to have a look at it anyway, and then I'll probably... I mean, you are going miles out of your way here. Alright, so how far do I have to go out in order to maintain top speed? Not to mention the fact that I ought to lay in track over here to connect up to. So we're going right under a mountain. Now, if it were me, let's just arbitrarily... No, it's a bit close to town. Let's arbitrarily put one in here. There we go. Right, now, if I just grab that, see what our survey says here. Okay, right, 4 million, it's suggesting. Complete with majestic bridge action. I don't think we'll be sticking with that somehow. Coming out of here with a bit of collision going on. But why are you going? Okay, that's where the mountain starts, I guess. Okay, right, that's what we're going to try and do. Interesting. Right, let's try it again without the road to get in the way. So, given the fairly hectic frame rate slowdown you get on manoeuvres such as this, I always worry that the game's going to crash. Given that frame rate tends to indicate that the game is having a hard time thinking about what it is you're trying to come up with. No, let's cancel that. Let's give it a start here. Peel around the corner. Try and keep it at 150 or better. 152. Right. It's got no choice but to tunnel. Now, will it make the happy face this time round? Where are we? Here we go. Happy face. Happy face? Negative on the happy face. Okay, right. Let's try going the other way again. Now, you may ask yourself, why is it that you're trying to do this all in one rather than do it piece by piece? Well, this is something that I learned the hard way previously, and that is, hang on, we've got a green for go here, is that if you change the elevation inside a tunnel, it is impossible to snap track together once you come out to the other side. What have we got going on here? What do we think of this big bridge? We think it's very expensive, and that's a given. However, if I put in a little piece of track here, not so much as it's going to cost me the earth. Right, let's try it now. Construction is not possible. Well, it should be. That's what you were recommending mere moments ago. Come on. You know you want to. You don't want to. Alright, let's get rid of that. Thank you. All right, let's try doing it manually. Yeah, so the last thing you want to do is change elevation inside the tunnel, because doing so will mean that you cannot snap ends of the tunnel together, and that is incredibly painful. Okay, I don't want to slow down any more than that. And we're already inside the tunnel, so I need to keep that. Oh, this is not going to be easy. Okay, so we're going uphill. Can't go any steeper than this. I'm bleeding off speed like there's no tomorrow. This is horrific. This is absolutely lousy. This is a terrible, terrible, terrible piece of track. And with such, as such, I'm going to leave it there. We're going to have a rethink on this front. I've got to get around that corner a little earlier so that I can be thinking in straight lines. So tune in next time where we're going to make this happen. In fact, I'll probably make it happen while you're away. Largely so that you can avoid me doing more of this trial and error stuff, which it might be interesting enough for the first 5 minutes or so, but after that I suspect it is just a little dry. So thanks very much for watching today. I've been Colonel Failure. Please like and subscribe if you've not done so already, and I will be back very soon where we will conquer the mountain. We will climb the mountain of success and plant our flag on the peak of victory. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Cheerio.